Well, here we are on the River Shannon once more near Carrigan. Another beautiful day, County Leitrim. I have been thinking about difficult passages of Scripture, and I've been trying to speak on those in the church that I belong to. And a passage of Scripture that you don't hear talked about an awful lot these days is Exodus chapter 20, which is the Ten Commandments. It doesn't seem to be quite politically correct these days to speak on the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not. It's almost as if God is sickening our happiness and limiting our enjoyment. But that's not the take I have on the Ten Commandments. I see the Ten Commandments as being given by a loving God who is all-knowing and has an understanding of the universe and of society and of the way we work, and has put 10 laws in place for our own good because of the love that he has for us. And it's interesting, most societies, whether they're Christian or not even Christian societies, have some of these principles contained within their society. They are important for survival. The first commandment talks about God being the only God and having no other gods before us. It seems a bit limiting. And there's a challenge to the Christian church in relation to this, because even though we are welcoming to all denominations and all faiths and all types of beliefs, at the end of the day, we cannot get away from the biblical principle that there only is one God and there's only one way to find God, and that's through his Son Jesus Christ. Now, we may not make graven images or build idols literally to gods these days, but I think within our own lives there are gods that have replaced literal gods, whatever we put first in our life as God. I was very interested in the reaction of Sir Alex Ferguson after clinching the Premiership last week. He went over to the crowd and he bowed down to the crowd. And, being a football fanatic and being to a lot of Premiership games, it's really like a worship ceremony where people worship each other. And anything really you put first in your life in front of God is putting up an idol, I think, and God is looking for us to have him as number one in our lives. Okay, going on to the next commandment. It says there, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who misuses his name. In the King James Bible, which I've been more used to, it says about not taking the name of the Lord your God in vain. And it's amazing the number of people who swear and use God's name. And I don't have a great understanding of spiritual warfare and things like that, but I'm pretty convinced that we get ourselves into terrible situations and messes in the heavenlies as a result of misusing God's name. And it's something that we just need to be careful of. Jesus speaks about some of the Ten Commandments in Matthew's Gospel, and he elaborates and says a little bit about it. And basically what Jesus says is, let your yes be yes and your no be no. You don't need to add anything else onto it. Can we pick out one more commandment here? Yeah, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Growing up in, pardon me, in Northern Ireland, I came from a reasonably kind of religious and strict background, and I know on a Saturday night we had to do everything because my mother would not want us working on what she thought the Sabbath was. Sunday. We would clean our shoes and make all the food on Saturday night, and we would not even drive the car much on a Sunday. But I think the principle of keeping the Sabbath is the most important thing, not literally which day it is, because we've got to bear in mind that Sunday wasn't the Sabbath for the Jews. But there's a principle, I think, that 6 days you'll work and on the 7th you need to rest, and it's just for our own good. It's for the good of society. It's a well-known fact that we can cause burnout in our own lives by overworking, and it is good to take one day off in 7. So I think it's a good principle.